Hi, Mitchell Levy, global credibility expert. I had a couple questions lined up for today and just got one that came in, and I go, this is it. This is the one I have to answer. And so here's the question. The big thing for me is how to acknowledge my somewhat turbulent past and maintain credibility for who I am now and where I'm going. I just so love that question. And at some point in time, we need to have, for those sort of questions, need to have a little bit more context, right? So I'll answer it generically, and the context is, well, kind of where you're going and where were you? Okay, so let's talk about that. What I often think about is I had this framework, this model. You could, if you want to draw it on a piece of paper, draw a box on a piece of paper and call that the black box. Draw a line going into the black box and a line going out of the black box. And typically what happens is the framework is stuff goes in and stuff goes out. We get stuck in the black box. And as humans, we often get stuck inside the black box. And this applies to any situation. So what's interesting today is as I'm thinking through your question, what goes into the black box in terms of whatever it is you are now doing, what goes into that black box is all of your past experiences. Let's not worry about the black box. Let's worry about what comes out of it. And so the most important thing that I want to hear is, who are you tomorrow and how will you be serving tomorrow? And like, what have you done? Where are you? What's going on? And what I'll say, having interviewed over 550 people, 98% of people need clarity of who they serve and what pain point they serve. So if you sat back and you thought about, what is your passion? What is it that you want to do? Who is the audience you want to serve? A CPOP, a customer reported pain. You could Google Mitchell Levy CPOP. You'll see a definition. You could become a member of Credibility Nation. And as a member, one of the basic member courses you get is how to create your CPOP. And then when I do cred reels with people, the credibility shine reels, when I do cred reels, one of the things we do is that first question turns out to be your CPOP. Who do you serve? And so if you can define who is the audience you're serving, what is the pain point they have? And that is something that really is your passion. That is something you really want to do. That is something that maybe you're already doing it and already getting paid to do it. Clearly articulating that is very important. Clearly defining who that is, who you are and how you represent yourself, the most important thing. And once you know your CPOP, by the way, you go back to your LinkedIn profile and you do your search engine optimization around your CPOP. You go back to your website and you do search engine optimization around your website. Now, if you're thinking about what you do, what that CPOP is, what the pain point is that other people have that you're helping to address, how has your backstory, how is the inputs that helped create who you are? Like, you have this black box. There are things you do to help solve the problem, of which is your CPOP, what is your output, essentially. And so in terms of your black box, let's just assume whatever you do really works. So then the question becomes, the stuff that added to the input, the stuff that helped you become who you are today, the character building activity that helped you become how is that helpful? How does that add value for you to be able to deliver on your CPOP? How does that give you more credibility, even though it may be negative things, because it added value to you? Now, if what you did is bad and doesn't have any relation to what you're doing now, I have to get some more examples and more experience. And let's talk about that personally, if that's your scenario. But in many cases, for those people who have truly articulated, those people who truly have pain and have gone through something in the past that's not been good, where they end up having a passion, where they end up wanting to focus, where they end up serving others has something to do and is related to the things that have happened in the past. And if those things that have happened in the past built up that credibility, that the, for lack of any better word, the PhD in the School of Hard Knocks, if that helped you shape you, mold you into the person who could deliver on your CPOP better, well, that's not a negative, that's a positive. And that's something you should talk about. That's something you should incorporate. That's something that should be upfront, because it's part of that, as I mentioned, that part of that PhD in the School of Hard Knocks that help you get to where you have. So let's see. Let me just go through the question again. Big thing for me is how to acknowledge my somewhat turbulent past and maintain credibility for who I am now and where I'm going. Yeah, I think the person who you are now, you need to articulate it well. If where you're going is not where you are now, then you need to do the types of things that help you get to where you're going. A lot of times with service providers, what I'd say, if you want to do something and you don't have enough examples, you don't have enough experience, you don't have enough video testimonials, find somebody who knows, likes, and trusts you, or knows, loves, and trusts you. Tell them what you want to do and offer that you're going to do that for them. Hopefully it's something that takes a couple of weeks or a small amount of time. Offer to do that for them on your dime. The only cost is if they like what you do, they give you a video testimonial. You then take that video testimonial and the same story, you bring it to somebody else. So you bring it to that second person and you actually tell them, hey, here's a video testimonial from the past. I stole the first time was free. And what I'd like to do is, it's free if you want it free. And if you find value, you could pay me something. But the real cost is I want a video testimonial. Now you have 2 video testimonials of people who've solved that issue. You've made that happen for, and then you go to the third person. And with the third person, then you come up with a price that may not be your end price, but you come up with something else and you try that. That's how you could figure out where you're going. And I think what's happened in the past is adding value to you and to that. So I hope you found this valuable. Please leave comments and ideas and thoughts and additional questions in the box below, and we'll have yourself a incredible week. We'll see you next week. Bye now.